Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You already know what time it is. Welcome to another episode of Oh Shit That Happened, live with Nathaniel Clark. I am Nathaniel. And ladies and gentlemen, do I have an interview here for you? I am here joined because, of course, I am not by myself here today. I have none other than the GM of Nexus, tag team champion, and overall badass woman I've ever seen in my life and have the pleasure of knowing. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for my guest here today, Skylar Viper. How are we doing here today?
We're doing good. We're doing good. How are you doing, Nathaniel?
Excellent, excellent. First off, thank you for being on the show.
Of
I
course.
know you wound up reaching out to me, and I was like, oh my Lord, look at me. I'm getting big. So, very excited to have you here. Can't wait to jump in. Just have a good time with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, you already know, strap in. If you ain't had nothing to do, you got something now because we about to get it live and popping. All righty. So I guess first things first here, Skylar. What's new for you? How you been?
I've been good, coming a new GM of a new show that's going to be airing on PPW soon. Um, Also, the only current women's tag champion at the minute. So that's got a lot of weight on my shoulders.
Yeah. I'm about to say it is not often that we see one person having both tag belts. So that is definitely an interesting sight to see. But I figured if anybody can handle it, it's definitely gonna be you, Sky.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
but at least there. I guess let's just go ahead and get started. Let's just have fun with it. Overall, let's take it a little bit back before we get to the glory, before we get to where we are now in your career. What inspired you to become a pro wrestler in the first place?
Well, the funny thing about that is I didn't actually have an interest in wrestling growing up. Um, my older brother, who doesn't wrestle anymore, he actually was a wrestler, and that kind of is what got me into it in the first place. Had a small interest for it, traveling with him, seeing what he can do and stuff like that. Um, but it wasn't until I actually met my good friend Timothy, who's also a GM of Warzone, where he kind of took me under his wing and showed me some moves and the DD Tim, of course, and that's kind of what got me back into it.
Hey man, the DD Tim, that's the most dangerous move in all of pro wrestling.
Oh my god.
I've taken it. It's not fun,
Hmm.
but it is effective, and that's all that matters, I guess, at the end of the day. But that is what's up. That is what's up. I mean, it's definitely one of those things where it just kind of seemed like when you first came on the scene, it seemed like you already kind of had like a natural ability for it. So I remember like seeing you in one of your first matches. I was like, okay, she's definitely been around the block a few times. She knows what she's doing. So I was always just like, nah, she can't just be new here. There's no way.
I
No.
was new to the company, but no, definitely got Tim to thank for that one. I really, apart from seeing my brother doing shit and like keeping up with him, I had no idea. Like half the time, I don't even know what the moves are called until like Tim was like, "Skylar, you need this."
I hear that. I hear that. Holy, I was out here hitting these crazy moves, and I'm trying to make up names for them as I go along, and they're just like, it's simple. It already has a name. I don't care. I'm just gonna do it, and
Yeah,
it's
like
gonna be called something different.
make your own shit, make your own name.
Hmm. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So from there, you already get in the training under Timothy. We like to call him here on the show Himothy. I love me
Timothy.
some Timothy.
Oh.
But Tim out here showing you under the ropes. You then, because I did follow a little bit of your career before you came to PEPW, and then I really became a fan watching you in that federation, getting to know a lot of these cast of characters that we have. I know you tend to have a close alignment with one Shane Roberts, who we have mentioned here on the show, legendary wrestler. Hopefully, one
Yeah.
day I will have him on here. I'm still trying. I'm still trying, y'all, but I got y'all. Don't worry. When I get it, I'm gonna let you know. Um, But being aligned with somebody like a Shane Roberts, I know that did kind of it did kind of how can I put this? I know it kind of gave a little bit of an animosity in the locker room, especially considering Shane's history, especially in that said company. With Tony and other women involved, other wrestlers
Yeah.
maybe a little jealous of the friendship, or whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, all I've seen from you, Miss Skylar, is just adversity after adversity, and you just never cease to overcome. And it's a wonderful sight to behold. I love seeing the Viper strike, and it's great. It's great.
It's very fun experience. Like I remember I came into PEPW and a lot of people told me I didn't belong there. I shouldn't be here. I don't know a thing about wrestling. And at the time, I will agree, it kind of got to me a little bit where I was kind of questioning my ability because there was a time where I was losing like match after match after match. Like I was originally on Warzone, then got called up to Crash Course before the whole Destiny where we all kind of cross brand now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it definitely gets you, but I just gotta keep going. Like I just gotta keep moving, show people why I'm the best. Like I am her.
Yes, ma'am. You are her. You heard it here first. She is her. She's that bitch. She is what it is. What it is. You can either hate it or love it. But at the end of the day, we gonna keep going on to glory. Love it. Love it, love it. So I guess moving on there, can you share maybe some of the challenges that you faced in your wrestling journey, and how even coming off of the losing streak, to then finding your own name outside of the affiliations that you had, how was that like? Just facing those type of boundaries, but then finding that way to overcome them.
It's a bit hard because as much as I love Shane, Shane's a great wrestler in his own right. Shane's like accomplished so much in his time being a wrestler. Like
Yes, ma'am.
I would argue that he's like pretty famous.
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Pretty famous guy. Pretty important.
so when you're associated with Shane Roberts, it's always just like oh, the only reason you've got this is because of Shane, or this because of
Mm-hmm.
Shane. But Shane has helped me a lot. I can't deny that. I train with him quite a bit, just like I train with my Valor teammates. Like we're in a faction together. Um, but you know, it was me that got the tag belts, and that was very unexpected itself because I originally was in Unmistaken too. I was originally supposed to have a contenders match for the women's title at the time.
Yes, I do
And
remember.
it's very unexpected. Like I didn't even think I was going to win the tag belts because I think it was against Smokey Davidson and Ivy Santos,
Yes,
and
yes. Two legendary women in their own right.
100%. Like I went in there thinking I'm going to get absolutely destroyed. Like I'm not winning anything.
And lo and behold, you went in there, you did the damn thing, whooped some ass, came out with the gold.
Yep, still got it. Still got it.
Which is what we love to see here. And definitely, I remember being there for Unmistaken too. I was in the crowd at that point. I hadn't started the show yet, but I was in the crowd just enjoying myself. And I remember looking at the card, which I mean, if you're a wrestling fan, you already know the card is subject to change at any time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was fully expecting to see Skylar in action. Well, I guess to see you in action. I was fully prepared to see you go ahead, get your contendership, and then it just got switched, and you automatically in the championship match. I was like, oh shit, okay.
It's,
If anybody can rise up to the occasion, it's gonna be you. So I was just even more excited.
I was very surprised. Like I was backstage hyping myself up for my own match, and then all of a sudden I have someone. I think it was actually Joseph Sears or Almir that actually came and was like, "Yeah, you kind of have to come out here," and I'm just like, "Huh? Say what now?"
Yeah. And it's the way the business rolls. Sometimes things happen last minute. Sometimes we got things planned, and they shake out or fall through however they do, but we proceed because the show must go on, especially a mega event like Unmistaken 2. The show must go on regardless,
Mhm.
and either way we were going to get a quality match. And good golly, did we get a quality match. That's one of my favorite matches from that night. So definitely, You came in, showed up, showed out, kicked ass, and did everything I expected you to do, and then some. So I've just been nothing but proud. I've been such a fan over here on this side. So I'm just ah.
That makes me happy here.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you couldn't tell, this podcast is a very big supporter of the Viper herself. We are a very big supporter.
Glad to
If
hear
that wasn't made apparent.
it.
But I guess that's neither here. Moving on then. How do you feel about the current state of women's wrestling, and where would you like to see it go in the future?
I would actually like to see a lot more. I feel like there's not a lot of women's wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just the fact, like maybe it's just PPW itself. Like the women's roster is fairly small, so like sometimes like you can feud with someone, or sometimes a big show, and it's hard to have a big show like that when there's not a lot of women.
Yes,
I just
ma'am.
think there should be more encouragement for women in a business like this, where like for instance like tournaments, like just things like that to get people more excited and like show off brand new talent that maybe hasn't came in yet.
Absolutely. Because I definitely think just looking at the landscape of pro wrestling as a whole, with the divas or women's revolution, as some people like to call it, I believe back in 2013, 2014, and just moving from there, we've been seeing a lot more women find their way to becoming megastars. And I do mean megastars. Some of them are held in the same regard as the men these days, which I know for a long time was not really a precedent set for them. You know, coming from the days of just the women are here to look good, they're here for eye candy, we're here for bathroom
Mm.
breaks, and if you are fighting, we don't really care unless you're half naked. And now we got women out here that not only have more than the ability to show up and show out. They have the look, the charisma, just the overall swagger. And honestly, from the way I've seen a lot of these women packaged and move forward in their matches, I've seen a lot of times throughout. Not even just in PEPW, but even in other feds, these women are coming out here and they are showing you we are to be taken just as seriously as the men are, and we can do as good, if not better, than they can. And there have been
100%.
one so many times that I've watched plenty of cards, and the women have come out and just stole the damn show. So it's such a sight to behold now, and it can only go up from here for the women's
100%.
divisions.
Some women are quite deadly. Like I have noticed, like as my time wrestling, like PFW, like different feds, some women wrestlers are terrifying. Like I actually had a match few months ago against Machine Gun Bubblegum, and uh I was terrified. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie, I was terrified.
that makes sense. That makes sense. And especially looking at some of the women that are coming into PEPW, whether they be established like a Iris Rivera or another one of my personal favorites, Smokey Davison. And then you have some of the newcomers like what's her name, like a Sarah Ryan.
Mm.
Good golly, Sarah Ryan come out here looking like a damn Terminator, man. I've seen her in action a couple times on Warzone, and I just Lord, some
She's definitely a powerhouse of a woman.
yeah, yeah. That is one woman I would not want to trifle with. So definitely, just looking at just your established stars, your new up and comers. There, I feel like there's now a certain type of confidence that they have now that you may not have seen before. And I love it. I love seeing the hunger. I love seeing the drive. And it's just when we all succeed, it just elevates the business, and we
Oh
can
yeah,
take it to a whole new level.
it's
Um,
such a good feeling to have as well.
yeah. And then at least sticking on for the women wrestlers and everything. Would you happen to have any advice for young women aspiring to become professional wrestlers, whether it be here at PEPW or just in general?
Honestly, just if you have that dream of wanting to, become a wrestler, obviously we all understand that there's not issues, that's the wrong word, but like, you can get hurt. that, like, for instance, one of my matches, I got badly hurt recently. Um, that's the thing, kind of thing that you have to take in when you go, okay, this is what I want to do. Do you have that determination enough to be like, this is a full time thing that I want to do? And
Yes.
if it is that determination, go for it. The only thing that can stop you is yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, in the words of the late great Dusty Rhodes, you grab a dream, you hold on to it, and you shoot for the sky.
Mhm.
And
I mean,
I
that's the way
love
to go.
that's the way it goes. You got to come in here, you got to be hungry. You know what I'm saying? This is not a sport for the faint of heart. This is not meant, for people who think, yeah, I was an athlete before, I'm just gonna come in here and make a quick buck.
No.
No, 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 sirree, Bob.
Like,
Um,
I don't even know how many, like, concussions I've had, like, having, like, DDT'd off the apron, or
oh,
like, even a few weeks back or a few months back, I got hit with a steel chair by by another wrestler. And
oh, damn.
recently in my not tag title match, sorry, my women's title match, I got beat with a chair. So those injuries were fun to deal with.
And this is exactly why I stopped. This is why I sit in the chair and I talk to y'all now. Yeah, I'm gonna save that for y'all. I'll save that for y'all. I'll just sit right here and share my opinion that nobody
Mhm.
has to listen to, but it'd be appreciated if you did. Um,
Yeah.
but at least there, um, can at least there, let's switch topics. Going into back to PEPW, the Fed that you are currently in now. Are there any wrestlers, past or present? Right there on the roster now, maybe some legends before, that do have the potential to come back. Is there anybody in particular that you'd love to have a match with that you haven't had already, or maybe even a potential rematch that you'd like to have later on down the line?
Ooh. Um, I would say definitely I would love a one-on-one with Smokey Davidson. Like, I know we had the tag match together at one point, but I would definitely want to have like a one-on-one with her. I feel like that would be quite interesting. Um,
The fantasy booking right now in my mind is going bananas. Yes, that was one I was gonna plug. I was gonna plug it. If you didn't say it, that was gonna be one I'd recommend. You heard it here first on Oh Shit That Happened. We need Smokey versus Skylar. If that does happen, I'd like 20%. But anyway, looking at it, that I think is a dream match in and of itself. Because there was definitely what looked to be a lot of chemistry between you guys, at Unmistaken too. It just seemed like y'all knew each other's moves so well, and it was just tit for tat, back and forth. And it was very what was it? Very unpredictable is the word I'm looking for. Very
yep.
unpredictable because y'all just had it. She's throwing the kick, you ducking, you blocking it. She throwing the kick, you ducking, you throw a kick, she ducking. Lord, it was amazing. So I think 1v1, yeah, that's main event material right there.
I think that would go crazy, honestly.
That go bananas. So yeah, any GMs listening, anybody in management over there, at the peak of EFED Entertainment of PEPW, I think you know what we need to do. We need to give the people what they want, and if
Yep.
you do use the idea, I'd like 20%. But anyway, I guess from there, what is next for Skylar Viper? Are there any upcoming matches or projects that you'd like to promote?
There actually is. Obviously, being a one woman tag champion isn't an easy thing to be able to do.
I couldn't imagine it
So
is.
we're going to be having a women's tag team tournament, and the winner of that, or the tag team winners of that, gets to go against me in a handicap match for the tag titles.
Oh damn.
So I've got that
Uh,
to look forward to.
okay, okay. I definitely believe in you, but a handicap match is depending on the two women you get. That that a handicap match is already a tall order, but
Mhm.
depending on the two women that you get, that can determine how big this order is gonna be. But realistically, you know me. I think if anybody can rise up to the challenge, it's gonna be you. So I will be rooting for you the whole way through. Uh,
Thank you.
if you gotta do it, do what you gotta do, man. Get a
100%.
chair, throw them out the ring, do whatever you gotta do. Smack their mama. I don't know, but
Working
whatever
that
it
shit.
takes, whatever it takes. And then at least there to kind of wrap up here. Um, I guess my last question for you here, Miss Viper. Um, where do you expect to see yourself, or hopefully see yourself, in the wrestling world in the next few years?
That's a good question. I've never actually really thought about this question, but I would love to get my hands. I know I already had a shot at it, but I would like to work my way back and try and get my hands on that women's title again. Being a GM is very exciting as well. So I'm
Hmm.
very curious to see where that takes me and see what I can do with that. Introducing like new wrestlers and just people who kind of maybe are new to wrestling and don't really know like where their place is. Like Nexus is open for people like that where they can just come in, show off their skills, and if a brand picks them up, fair enough.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little I like to call it, it's like a nice little like charcuterie board, little appetizer.
Yeah.
We see what we got, and then if I feel like you belong in the main lineup of the buffet, we gonna bring you out to the buffet. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Since you do have the dual role of pro wrestler and GM, do you think that you'll ever fully like stick to one role specifically, or will we kind of see you pulling double duty for the foreseeable future?
Currently, for the future, I have no idea, but currently, I definitely think it will be uh, a bit of both.
Okay.
If I had to pick between the two, I would definitely stick to wrestling purely because I enjoy it way too much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something about it, man. I tell you, it's
It's
something about the
addictive.
pop you get, the crowd chanting and getting behind you, and just the fans. We do it. We do all this for the fans. When I was wrestling, it's for the fans. My show now is for the fans. We do it all for the people. We do it for the love of the sport and the people. And without the people, we reasonably wouldn't be here right now.
Hmm.
Um, so I guess a quick plug to the fans. Thank you for all your support and all your love. It's very much appreciated. And let's get us keep going to the top. So at least there, Skylar Viper, thank you so much for being here on the show. Um,
Anytime.
it was such a fantastic moment. I know this will not be the last time we see you. So hopefully next time I talk to you, you got that women's belt around your
Hopefully.
shoulder, and I'm excited to see that future for you. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been my interview with Skylar Viper. Once again, you already know me. I'm Nathaniel Clark. But before I get out of here, we going to plug in the Fed, PEPW, the utmost up top peak of eFed Entertainment. Make sure you follow them on all the socials. That's going to be at Peak EPW. I'll be throwing that in the bio below. And you can catch all the shows: War Zones, Crash Course, Mayhem, Nexus. All those details will be down there. So that way you don't miss a single thing. If you haven't caught the stuff before, catch it on the replay. Like, subscribe, show them some love. If you think you got what it takes, I'm pretty sure they are open to new talent. So definitely come on down, show what you got, and let me know once again. Oh shit, that happened. Anybody you want to see me talk to, put it down in comments below. Like, subscribe, what you want. I give it to you. I'll try my best. I'm still working on the Shane one, so
I'll have a. I'll talk to Shane. I'll see what I can do.
one day I'm gonna get him in here. There's at least two people I want to get in here. I'm working on Shane. I mean, one of my personal favorites are the main event, Judah Jones. I've been
Mhm.
trying to get him in here, but he's been avoiding me like the damn plague. Um, so eventually I'm gonna get that for the people. But ladies and gentlemen, Skylar Viper, thank you so much for coming on here. It is
It was a
very much
pleasure.
appreciated. And it was wonderful talking to you, catching up. I'll definitely be at all the events rooting you on. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another wonderful interview and another episode of Oh Shit That Happened, live with Nathaniel Clark. I am your host, Nathaniel, And you already know I'll be back here next week with some more recaps and results for that show. And the next interview I have, I will let y'all know. And you already know, follow me there at Nathaniel Efed. All my information will be in the bio down below as well. Instagram, the YouTubers. You already know what it is. But thank you, wonderful people, for tuning in. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of y'all day. And you already know, it's Nathaniel.